once had a newly hired coach after his first week on the job say that it was like a dog chasing a car and catching the bumper, and fighting the bumper, and he's like, what do you do then? You know, you build it, you run after it, and then you're there, and it happens.
It's one of those life experiences. I remember when Destiny and I had our firstborn, and everybody can tell you how, you can read all the books, but when you get home and it's just you and her looking at the baby, you know, you try to figure it out, and you know, she starts crying. So this is a similar experience where, you know, you're excited about it, you want it, and then you get there and you're trying to figure it out and be measured. And there's a lot of people that want to congratulate you, and you want to touch everybody and tell them thank you. So it's a lot, but it's welcome.
Feel different? Like you
No.
look in the mirror?
No. Oh no. Maybe a couple less hours of sleep, so it might look different, but don't feel different at all. Just a lot more information coming at me.
Is this fulfilling a dream for you, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's something I've always wanted to do, and you get to a point where you feel like you're prepared. You've had great mentorship from a lot of different people, so there's so many people to thank, and you feel humbled by it, and then everybody is excited at Milwaukee, so you just want to do a great job.
You've been to the final stage before, and it didn't work out. What was different this time? I mean, did you learn something in the last 3 years? Is there something that...
I think timing, you know, it's all in God's timing, Mark, you know, and so everything happens at the right time. It was the right place for me and my family at the right time, and the opportunity came along, and I consulted, you know, Coach amongst others about, you know, if it was a move to make at this time, and it just all seemed right, and it seemed to line up. So, you know, we were excited about it, made the decision to go. Well, we didn't make the decision; they offered it to us, and we were excited to accept.
You know, what's the balance between taking the head coaching job, that offer that comes, versus, you know, a place that you can win at, you know, a place that has infrastructure, all those things. When you do have options, maybe, how did you kind of play that out in your mind over? Maybe not just
well,
this year,
especially a place like here. It's and I said this at the press conference. You know, it was going to take something that you had to believe in to get me out of the seat where I was sitting, because, you know, I believe in this place. And when that opportunity came along, and once you start to meet the people, you say, okay, and they've had success before. There's a familiarity with the league because I played and coached in it, and have seen, you know, Milwaukee be really, really good. So you know it's possible, and you know people support it. So those things played a huge factor in deciding, you know, to say yes and be excited and enthusiastic about it, because you know you can do it there.
Are you one of those guys who just kept a list of ideas over the years, and like when I remember?
Yeah, I would be one of those guys.
Yeah.
There's a few binders, notebooks.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you're trying to recall and shuffle through some of them, and you know, I've got a lot of great resources again between Coach and Brad, and Coach Licklider, Matthew Graves, who's done it, and other friends I've met along the way. And so you get the do's, the don'ts, you know, what to do first, and you kind of have a vision on the way in. But then, you know, more comes at you than what you think, and so you got to have a great staff. And so now I'm in the final stages of solidifying the staff.
You go on the road 2 days. I mean, do you have to have a staff by that, or you kind of just first?
Well, we'll have enough in place to go and get done what we need to get done, and then, you know, in the next 2 weeks or so, finish everybody up and get everybody up. So getting to know the players, and, you know, that was the first priority, getting to know them and talking with their families, and, you know, it's a tumultuous situation coming into, so just trying to be about relationships, which is the same thing that I was about as an assistant coach, so that doesn't change.
What have you learned from Coach Beeline? Oh, sorry. What have you learned from Coach Beeline in your 6 years?
So much, so much. You know, I don't know if I can say one thing. I know the thing that I'm going to do when I go in there is give him a big hug and tell him I understand, because all the things that you have to be accountable for in this seat, and it comes at you quick, and there's decisions to make, and you know, so a lot of the times that maybe we would want Coach to hurry up, you're trying to be very measured, and you want to make the right moves. And so, yeah, I'm going to give him a big hug and just let him know, hey, I get it now.
Is there anyone from here for your staff, or has that been a done deal with anyone?
Well, you'll find out. I think I'm going to be able to. I'm confident I'm going to be able to put together a great staff and guys that I trust and believe in, and guys that are excited to join us and get this thing. You know, continue to build. You don't want to say get it going. It was going. To continue to build on, you know, what's been going. I think Coach Jeter, did a really good job in 11 years and had a ton of success. I talked to a few of the former players, and so there's just an excitement. It's fun. I think the staff will be excited, and people will be excited about what we put together.
Coach Beeline had said that there were multiple opportunities for people on the staff.
Yeah.
Now, are you in a position to talk? I mean, are people going to call you about Jeff and Bakari too? Is that the way this works, or was
If they do, they better have their name in my contact list, because there's a lot of numbers that I'm not answering right now, and they can leave. I think my inbox is full. So, it was a great staff at Michigan. Coach, I loved working with those guys. That's the hardest part about moving is the friendships you build, the relationships you build with the players, with their families, with our staff here. I mean, they're family. So I'm gonna continue to call BA, and we'll laugh and joke about whatever we used to laugh and joke about. And he'll probably tease me about not calling timeout when I should have. Leaning on Coach Meyer, he's been a mentor since I started as a director of operations, and he was an assistant coach at Butler. So, we've had this relationship for so long, and those guys will continue to be friends.
How do you feel like you leave this program? Where do you feel like this program is at this point?
Well, I'm excited about the group next year.
Mm-hmm.
That also makes it's difficult, but to leave those guys, and I'm excited to get in there and give them hugs. But I think they got a heck of an opportunity, and I feel good about what we were able to do during my time here, and I think they can go above and beyond that in the future. And I think they've got great senior leadership. Obviously, Coach Beeline leading the charge, and a great staff in place. So, I feel good about what we accomplished and how it's left, and all the people I met. That's the thing that makes it fun, the Tom Wyrods and Bob Blands and the people behind the scenes.
The Brendan Quinns.
Yeah, the Brendan Quinns. But all the people that had so much, I'm just so thankful, Chris. Like, there were so many people. I told Tom, all the things that he's trained me for, I really have to use now up until this point. So there's been so many people to thank that I can't, I'm going to try to name them all, but, I just feel good about what I've learned here at Michigan and what it's meant to me, pouring into me being in this position now.
You say the unexpected that pops up. Do you have a good example this week? That's something that you were like, I did not see that one coming.
I don't know, Brent. There's been so much, so many decisions to make this early, or decisions that are going to be down the line, and papers keep coming on the desk. But it's like I said, it's great. I can't think of one. And there's so many people. I apologize every day for not remembering somebody's name that I've seen 3 times. But it's part of the transition. And right now, I just need to make sure my family's comfortable. That's my number one thing. My wife's the head coach on the move, so she's got a house to get ready to sell and looking to buy. I got an 11-year-old that has to leave her friends and heading into middle school, and the 2 other daughters. So you're making sure they're comfortable and trying to get out on the recruiting trail to build for the future and get to know our players. So I'm trying not to get distracted by a lot of the other stuff, and that's I've got good people in place to help me out with that there, get to know them.
Coach Beeline said that you called some recruits, some of the Michigan recruits and stuff like that, trying to poach them, or?
No, just to inform. I didn't want people to look up and all of a sudden, I'm gone. And
Right.
You get to know people, and you
Yeah.
get relationships, and you want to leave it right. You want to exit the right way.
What was the
And so
response? I mean,
They were
happy
excited.
for
They
you?
were happy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were happy. It's a bittersweet happiness, but everybody was happy for me, for the family, and they'll be Panther fans and Wolverine fans now.
Anything else?
Thanks, Val.